पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परिव्राज कचर्य स्तोत्र श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत मधुसूदन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र श्रीमद भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र श्रीमद भक्ति जीवन जनार्दन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ ओम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत त्रिविक्रम गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद श्रीमद गुरुगोविंद महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद भक्ति प्रमोदपुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद श्रीमद भक्ति वैभवपुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद भक्ति कामो गोविंद गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद भक्ति राक्षसीधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर शिव प्रभुपाद की जय। परम भागवत शिव गुरु किशोर दास जी महाराज की जय। सप्तम गोस्वामी सच्चिदानंद शिव भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिव जगन्नाथ दास जी महाराज की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भक्त रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भक्त दास रघुनाथ शिव गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। स्वरूप दामोदर रमानंद दीश श्री भक्त ऋषभ वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य शिव हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिव श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। नवदीप मंडल की जय। व्रज मंडल की जय। क्षेत्र मंडल की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। चार संप्रदाय चर 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 धाम की जय। रसेश्वरी क्रियेश्वरी वृंदावनेश्वरी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय। श्री पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र की जय। श्री पुरुषोत्तम मास की जय। श्री पुरुषोत्तम व्रत की जय। पुरुषोत्तम व्रत पालन करी भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री चंद्र कुंज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समाप्त गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गुरुचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानं पवनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। आनन्दलीलमय विग्रहाय मपदीवच विसुन्दराय तस्मै महप्रेमरसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। नित्यानन्द नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानन्दप्रदायिने कलोकल्मषनाशाय जन्मपतये नमः। अजनलाम्बितभुजो कनकवदातो सङ्कीर्तनायकपितरो कमलायताक्षो विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो जुगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरो करुणावतारो। कनकजलादगात्रो नीलशोणब्जनेत्रो मृगमदवरबालो मालतीकुन्दमालो तरलतरुनवेशो नीलपीताम्बरेशो स्मरनिभृतनिकुञ्जे राधिका कृष्णचन्द्र। कृष्णवर्णं त्विषा कृष्णं सङ्गभङ्गस्त्रपर्शदं यज्ञाय सङ्कीर्तनप्रयाय यजन्ति हि सुमेधसं। ध्येयं सदा परिभवग्नमभीष्टदोहं तीर्थस्पदं शिवविरिञ्चनुतं शरण्यं प्रत्यार्तिहं प्रणतपालभवद्दिपोतं वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दं। त्यक्त्वा सुदुस्थितसुरक्षितराजलक्ष्मीं धर्मिष्ठार्योचसाय ददातरण्यं मयामृतं दयितमीप्सितमन्वदावत् वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दं। वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम्। श्री तवैवास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय राधे त्वं न मम चरणन्तिके। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री पुरुषोत्तम-vrata की जय। So first of all, my unlimited Dandavat pranams to Lotus feet of Shiva Gurudev, Nitya Praised on Vishnupada, Stutra Satya Shishimat, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, Pujapat Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj, Pujapat Bhakti Kamal Govinda Goswami Maharaj, my dear Shiksha Guru, Pujapat Bhakti, Vedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, Shrimati Krishna Priya Thakurani, all dear devotees in Chandrika Kunj, also those who are watching us online or in recording, Dandavat Pranam. So Purusottama-vrata is continuing. We're hearing very wonderful descriptions about the glories of this month. So Roger was not here yesterday, so you can see the recording for the first part of the glories of this month, Purushottama months. But you remember yesterday we were discussing the life of King Hatadanva and how he was observing Purushottama month in his previous life. Also in this life he met Valmiki Rishi, and Valmiki Rishi induced him to follow Purusottama-vrata. And then remember yesterday we were taking Sankalpa vows for Purushottama month, and we offered ghee lamps. So now King Hatadanva is asking, "O great sage, Valmiki, oh please tell me, what are the benefits one achieves by offering a lamp to Lord Purushottama in this month? What is the benefit?" Great sage Valmiki then began speaking. Oh, there was once a king called Chitrabahu, who ruled over the kingdom of Bhagyanagar. So he was a great devotee of Krishna, and he possessed all great qualities: truthfulness, non-violence, forgiveness, very cultured behavior, kindness, respect towards saintly people, etc., and knowledge of religious principles. And once a great sage, Agastya Rishi, came to his palace. So when a pious king in the past, a pious king sees a very, very great soul, great sage, certainly he offers great reception. In the previous ages, there was no sin. Now sin is norm of life, but in the previous ages, there was just piety, and nothing but piety. So the more exalted the person was, the more piety he or she had. So the king Chitrabahu accepted Agastya Rishi with great respect, offered him a seat, gave water, offered obeisances, even from the distance. So when the sage came closer, gave him a nice place to sit in, he worshipped him with great respect and pleasingly said, "Oh, today my life has become successful. This great devotee of Krishna has entered my palace." Now in Kali Yuga it's a bit difficult to express that piety. So how will we get that piety? Certainly in Sadhu Sangha. Then we will become in Sangha Siddha Bhakti, this is called. The process of Sangha Siddha Bhakti means following the sadhus. So our bhakti will become Siddha. And then we'll definitely be, our behavior will be exemplary. It's a bit difficult now in Kali Yuga. Srila Prabodhana Saraswati is saying, "Kala kalir balina indriya vairi varga Shri Bhakti marga ekakanta kakoti ruddha aha kvayame vikala ki maham karomi Chaitanya Chandra dinadi kripam karoshi." He is saying, in this stage of Kali, Kala kalir balina indriya vairi varga. Indriya, the senses are very strong. Kali Maharaj is attacking us with sense objects. And although we have some piety from the past, we can be easily diverted from the path of pure bhakti just by the strength of the senses. Kala kalir balina indriya vairi varga Shri Bhakti marga ekakanta kakoti ruddha. And the path of bhakti, the pure path of bhakti, is bedecked with thorns, full of thorns. Like when you have some beautiful thing, like a rose, but some thorns are there, very difficult to take. So in the same way, bhakti is so beautiful, but you have to pay, the price of holding it somehow. So Shri Bhakti Marga Kanta Kakoti Ruddha ha kvayame vikara kimaham karoni. In utter despondency, Prabhupada Saraswati Pad is saying, "Oh, where will I go? What shall I do? Ha kvayame vikaro kimaham karoni Shri Chaitanya Chandra dinadi kripam karoshi." Only the merciful lotus feet of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will save me, So I think starting tomorrow we'll go to Chaitanya Lila and discuss the qualities and pastimes of Purushottam Bhagavan Shri Sachinandam Gaura Hari. But today, yes, so this story, Agastya Rishi was brilliantly respected, accepted by Chitrabahu Maharaj. So Today my life has become successful because a great devotee of Krishna has entered my palace, the king said. He sincerely tried his best to please the sage. The king then began to question Agastya Muni about his past life. Oh, please, great sage Agastya, tell me. In my present life, I'm enjoying such an undisturbed kingdom. I have a beautiful and chaste wife, nice sons and daughters. Why is that? I must have performed some pious deeds in the past. Can you please see my past and ascertain which ones, which types of pious acts I have performed for such an enjoyable result in my present life? So Agastya Muni replied, "Oh, fortunate one, please listen carefully to me. I will now explain your previous life to you. In your previous life, you were called Manigriva, but your behavior was not at all as nice as now. On the contrary, you are of nasty behavior, very nasty behavior. You are a most cruel non-believer of God, Manigriva, in the previous life. Such a transformation. In the morning, we'll be hearing about transformation. Transformation. Bad character? No problem. No problem. I received one question today from my god sister. Oh, I have so difficult relationship with such a devotee. How could Gurudev give her diksha? A sadhu is most merciful. You know? We're remembering today at lunch, Asimprabhu was telling us some Mahabharata Katha. I was really enjoying. So he remembered Lord Balaram. Lord Balaram accepted Duryodhana, who is the Amsha of Kali, who is the incarnation of Kali Maharaj, you know, the personification of Kali Yuga. But Lord Balaram accepted him as his disciple and was protecting him. Even he stood on his side. You know, that was the reason for his quarrel with Krishna even. Well, not really was quarreling. He was very much disturbed, but okay, that's Krishna's will. Cannot disobey Krishna. So he gave up. But initially he was protecting Duryodhana so much. So, but Balaram accepted him, although very, very bad Duryodhana, you know. And Maharaj Yudhishthira was never calling him Duryodhana, he was calling him Suyodhana. Yudha means warrior. Duryodhana means a wicked warrior. And Suyodhana means the pious warrior, the wonderful warrior, best qualities. The sadhus are adoshadarshi, they cannot ever see bad qualities. Yeah, that's why Suyodhana, not Duryodhana. Yeah, a sadhu will see inside our heart and see best quality. Where is it? You know? If one chants the holy name, immediately best qualities are coming. What's that verse? Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavate kinchana tadyasate sura harava bhaktasya asadguna paravareshadve jayate. Padma has missed. Harava bhaktasya kutam asadguna. Asadguna. Anyway, so as soon as one engages in akinchana bhakti, unalloyed bhakti, pure devotion, then immediately all the qualities of suras, demigods, manifest in his or her heart immediately. So don't worry about bad character. Once we were sitting with Pujapat Madhusudan Maharaj and Haribol, once we were sitting with Pujapat Madhusudan Maharaj and he read my mind. I was thinking about one devotee I had some difficulty in relationship with. So Maharaj read my mind and said, there are no good or bad people. The question is who they are associating with. That's the point. So Manigriva, let's hear about Manigriva in that regard. Yes, but Manigriva was very, very fortunate because he had a very pious and devoted wife, very religious lady. So she was very chaste and beautiful and always engaged to please you. Who's continuing? Valmiki Rishi is continuing. Remember, Sutta Goswami is telling the sages of Nimesharanya, the same message which was told by Shukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit, which was told by Narayan to Narad Rishi, which was told by Krishna to the Pandavas. So, story in the story, that same katha. So she was very beautiful, that wife of Manigriva, and your bad character, Valmiki Rishi continued, your bad character and cruel behavior meant no one in society liked you. No one liked you. So they broke their relationship with you, and the king of your country even took away everything from you, your wealth, your position, your property, everything, and chased you away from the king, from the city at least, from the capital city. So the poor, previous life he was, I think he was Brahmana. So poor Manigriva left the kingdom, left the capital city with his wife. Wife is so religious. The wife has always has to follow her husband at any time. Srimad Bhagavatam says it a bit differently. Vishnu Purana is saying the wife has always has to obey her husband. But Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, if your husband is not devotee, leave him. Srimad Bhagavatam, our Gurudev was stressing, but still the Vaishnavas are saying, Gurudev himself was saying to the last moment, stay with your husband, stay with your husband, stay with your husband. If he like completely demoniac, then okay, another thing. Like Mirabai's husband, Mirabai, the great sage, the great saintly person, the saintly lady from Vrindavan. And she was with her husband, but her husband was terribly against Krishna. She was talking to Krishna in her room, but the husband was thinking that was her lover. So once he broke in, who are you talking? Who is he? Where is he? Here he is. Can't you see? Krishna was there. Cannot see. Anyway, so she wrote a letter to Tulsidas. Goswami Tulsidas wrote that shlok in the same way as Prahlad Maharaj left his father, in the same way as Bharat left his mother, calling her Queen Kaikeyi, in the same way as Bali Maharaj left his guru. So you have to leave her husband. That was the message. So she left. Anyway, so but generally, wife has to follow. So she went into the garden, and they found a nice garden looked after, which was being looked after by a gardener. The gardener was very devoted. No, I'm mixing up two stories. No. Anyway, so they were living in the jungle anyway, and they were hunting sometimes. So one day, Valmiki Rishi is saying, you were hunting for some food, and you came across a man who had fallen down unconscious on the forest road. That was a great sage called Ugradev. So they saw the Brahmana Ugradev in such a condition, unconscious and helpless. So some mercy arose in their heart, Vedic culture. Looking after a Brahmana anyway, wicked person, cruel person, greedy person, even disbeliever, but respect to Brahmana, see, previous age. Such good quality. So that good quality played the key role in this story. So seeing the Brahmana in such a condition, immediately they looked after him and helped him. So Ugradev was going to Prayag, Allahabad, where the confluence of Ganga and Yamuna and the underground Saraswati is there. It's a very holy place. So it's said that if one takes bath in Prayag at the time of Kumbh Mela, he will never return to this world. So Valmiki Rishi is saying, you brought the sage to a small cottage, and both you and your wife began to serve him by fanning him, giving him some water to drink and cooling his forehead. After a little time, the sage came back to consciousness. He looked around in wonder, and he described everything to him, how he had fainted, and you had brought him to your cottage. So you then offered some fresh water to the Brahman, and he was very pleased with you and asked about your condition. Why are you in such an impoverished condition? Why are you living in the forest and begging or hunting? What are you doing? So O Manigriva, the sage of Gurudeva, said, why are you suffering here in the forest? Please tell me everything about your situation and I can find some solution. I can do something so that you can have some good fortune in the future. So then, as Valmiki is saying, you means king in the previous life, humbly explained your story, and the wife, who was very, very miserable, asked the sage, oh, please do something so that our condition becomes better. Then Ugradev listened and said, oh great soul, you will definitely become famous in this world because you have served me as well as your guest. So to eradicate your previous sinful reactions, I'm now going to explain to you the simplest and easiest way you can attain all good fortune. In 3 months, the sacred month of Purusottama is coming. So please follow the regulated principles of that month. You fast, you offer prayers to Krishna, to Vishnu, you offer a ghee lamp. So that's about the ghee lamp, you know. Yesterday we offered ghee lamp. Today we should not forget after Arati to offer a ghee lamp. Every day we have to offer. That's a regulation for Purushottam. Listen. Sorry, I didn't take mine earlier. So, yes, so please perform Purushottama vows, and then you'll please Supreme Lord Purushottam and just offer him a ghee lamp every day. That's the main thing. Offer him a ghee lamp. By doing this, all your misfortune will vanish. All right? So the best lamp to offer is a ghee lamp. But because you're living in the forest, you can offer a lamp made from sesame oil. So collect some sesame and press some oil. No ghee, no cow. So anyway, make a ghee wick. When you attain some wealth, you must then offer a ghee lamp after. Some wealth is coming by the grace of Purushottam, then offer a ghee lamp. So Sage Ugradev, having spoken in this way, left the place for Prayag, constantly chanting the holy name of Krishna. So following the order of Ugradev, Manigriva and his wife offered an oil lamp to Purushottam regularly throughout the sacred months. Just offered ghee lamp. After some time, the couple left their bodies after Purushottam. Purushottam passed, okay to leave body. A good time. So after enjoying many years in the heavenly planets, because they had so many desires for sense enjoyment, then they enjoyed there, and then we returned to earth and achieved a very gracious position in society of King Chitrabahu and his queen. So the two hunters became king and the queen after heaven. Then Agastya Muni said to Chitrabahu, O king, such was your previous life, and such is the glory of simply offering an oil lamp to Lord Purushottam in the sacred month of Purushottam. A person who offers a ghee lamp to the Lord daily in this month receives unlimited merit. We heard before. Who said that? I think so. Yeah. If you offer just one, 100 Ashwamedha yagyas, such a result. Ashwamedha yagya, horse sacrifice. 100 horse sacrifices. It's a great, great merit. One ghee lamp. A daily, one daily, or two daily, you can count. After enjoying many years in the heavenly planets, we offer one ghee lamp. O king, please don't doubt that these great merits are achieved simply by offering one ghee lamp to the Lord. So Valmiki continues in this way. King Chitrabahu started. Then Agastya Muni left the place. So then King Chitrabahu was offering a ghee lamp every day, and then at the end he and his wife went to Golok Vrindavan. So King Hatadanva heard all these stories from Valmiki, and then Valmiki Rishi had to leave. "O king, now I'm going to the river Sarayu to take bath." And he was about to leave the place, then King Hatadanva worshipped the sage Valmiki, very submissive way, and he left for Sarayu. When sage Valmiki left the palace, the king, along with his queen, left his kingdom and started to live in a simple and peaceful way in the forest. That's another story within this story. So they were living a very, very peaceful life. And when the sacred month of Purushottam appeared, Hatadanva and his wife Gautami, they also were worshipping the month of Purushottam in the same way as King Chitrabahu and his wife were worshipping. And at the end of Purushottam, celestial airplane came and took them to spiritual world. That's how it ended. So they reached Goloka. King Hatadanva ki jai. King, what's his name? Chitrabahu ki jai. So Lord Narayan told Narada, "O Narada, in this world there is nothing equal to Purushottam month. The result of merit one gets after performing severe austerities for 1,000 births could not be even comparable to the merit worshipping Purushottam month. 1,000 births of austerities. So we cannot underestimate. We should be very, very careful listening to this. Sometimes some thoughts are coming, oh, that's an exaggeration. That's the fourth offense of the holy name. You know? There are 10 offenses of the holy name. Have you heard? 10 offenses. It's a long story, and we will not mention all of them now. Probably tomorrow, or at Prasadam, or tonight at Prasadam, and for Roji. But the fourth offense is to disbelieve the statements of Shastra, of the Holy Scriptures, because that's not just to substantiate, to make some advertisement for some religious dogmas, some principles. No, this is for our eternal benefit. And the arithmetics given in the Shastra, it's very, very precise. 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas means 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas. So Lord Narayan told Narada, let's hear again, the result of merit one gets after performing severe austerities for 1,000 births cannot be even comparable to the merit worshipping Purushottam month. 1,000 births of austerities. And austerities means, standing in the ice cold water in the winter, putting 4 fires around yourself in the hot summer, meditating on the tip of your nose, sitting on the deer skin, just take one fruit and again meditate for thousands of lifetimes. Cannot be compared even close to the merits one gets from worshipping Purushottam. So we have to follow, follow Purushottam means it's good that we're fasting, it's good that we're praying, but another thing is Vacha Vegam, control of speech. So Srila Gurudev was giving us specific instructions about that. He was saying there are 2 organs specifically without a bone. The upper one and the lower one. So we have to take very special attention about those. The upper one especially because it has 2 functions, to speak and to eat. So whatever we eat, then we speak the same. You are what you speak, the yogis say. And back to George Harrison, I think he sang in one of his songs, Subway Truffle, I think. He sang something similar. So what I want to say, then, okay, so we try to control our tongue during this Purushottam month. I think it's very relevant for us. It's very good. But still, urge to speak is coming. And in normal life, we'll speak a lot about different things. But remember this morning, Maharaj Pujapat Madhusudan Maharaj said about the regulative principle. He was saying also, I heard from my Gurudev a couple of days ago from his speech, and I read in his Harikatha, speak about Krishna, Bhagavad Katha, Mahabharata Katha, very good, very good. You know, especially we have certain personalities, oceans of Mahabharata knowledge and all the other things, so we can just share, you know, because that not only helps digestion, which is also true, but helps spiritual cultivation, the consciousness. Otherwise, we can speak about so many things. Coronavirus, so many other politics, the Prime Minister, and so many other things, but not for Purushottam. So Purushottam has to be dedicated to Purushottam. So Purushottam Katha, we have to be very mindful, because it's a great, great chance. I know sometimes it seems artificial, like you're forcing yourself. Why should I have to feel spontaneous? But no, have to just first, everything comes by force. First, we have to know by force. All Bhagavad Gita actually is about regulative principle and force. All Bhagavad Gita is about that. So Krishna says to Arjuna about a yogi who by force controls his senses, controls his speech. But that force is actually very gentle. Why? Because it follows the mercy of sadhus. So we heard some Harikatha, then we read it. Shravanam, Mananam, Smaranam. Shravanam we heard, Mananam we took some time for philosophical adjustment, to say, understanding. We read that Siddhanta, we make it closer to our heart, right, through intelligence to our heart. Intelligence should not go astray. Don't go into speculation, into unnecessary jnana. Jnana is like a crocodile. So it will take you away. It has to be close to the heart. And the heart, what you hear in Harikatha goes into your heart directly. Like that doll, for 500 rupees. The doll for 500 rupees was able to repeat what he heard from the heart. And the 5 rupee wala doll, everything was coming in from the air, from the other air. All right. So 50 rupee wala, 50 rupee doll was able to take it into your heart, but not able to repeat. And the one for 500 rupees, able to repeat, talking doll. Vikriditam brajavadu biradam chavishna shraddhan vitanashrunayadatu varnayedya bhaktim param bhagavati pratilapya kamam hridrogam ashva pahinoti chirena nira. After Shukadeva Goswami told Rasa Lila in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, at the end he uttered this verse. Vikriditam brajavadu biradam chavishna, one who with great faith, shraddha, shraddhanvita. Here's the heroic pastimes of Krishna. Which is the most heroic pastimes? Rasa Lila. The best of all heroic pastimes, Rasa Lila. With Shraddha. Shraddhanvita anushrinayat. Hearing continuously. Anu means continuously. Anushrinayat. 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 Continuously. We hear and we chant. Shripat Madhusudan Maharaj in one class said very, very nicely. You repeat. And again repeat. And again repeat. You take your japa, you repeat. What we're doing. Repetition. Repetition. When you do something continuously, like a drop, creating a hole in the stone even. After years, an outlet will be made. So you can compare it to a heart, which is like a stone, and then outlet will be made, and it will melt finally with the water of Harikatha. That's what will happen actually eventually. So Anushrinayat Varnayat. Anushrinayat means hearing continuously. Varnayat means speak. You have to speak of what you heard. So now during month of Purushottam is a brilliant opportunity to speak about what we've heard. Normally what do we hear? Internet. Information, bad news, COVID things, fears, what we'll do tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll all be killed and reduced to zero. Something people say, but our point is not to repeat what people say. Our point is to repeat what sadhus say, Sri Guru and Vaishnavas. So I have to repeat whatever they say. Shraddhanvita anushrinayat ativarnayat. And with great faith, hear and then repeat. What will happen then? Bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam haridrogam ashvapahineta chiremanti. Then bhaktim param, the highest bhakti will come into your heart. Bhaktim param. Pratilabhya will manifest. And kama, lust, which is hridroga, means heart disease. We have a great heart disease, lusting. We want to possess. It's called lust. I want to have it for mine, in German. Not only opposite sex, that's the main thing, but it's like wider. We want to have something for ourselves. That's called kama, lust. When we hear and we repeat with great faith, then what will happen? Again, let's hear. At the end of this verse, it's saying, Bhaktim param bhagavati. Then the great treasure of bhakti will come into our hearts. First of all, when you turn on the light in the room, a great torchlight, then darkness disappears automatically. No darkness left. Then you can see everything very clearly. Oh, there's such a mess in my room. I have to clear. Okay. The first bhakti comes. Then, I have to, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, I'm sorry, Tilak, Maharaj, Tandavat. Then bhakti starts. Oh, Gurudev, Kripa. Okay, we'll clean the room now. We'll clean the room, we'll make it beautiful. Oh, put to the sink. And water every day. So that is bhakti. Bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam hridrogam hridakchiranadira. Immediately, lust will go. So hear and repeat. Very, very sweet. So how can you reject? You just accept. Very sweet, like sweetest sweet. What is the most nectarian? What is the most nectarian we have tasted in our life? Charanamrita. Charanamrita. It's the water which washes the lotus feet. Shishirada and Krishna. That's the sweetest. Once on one Russian train, Russian people like to speak. So one person sat next to us and, okay, tell me what you're doing. You tell me. All right. What do you eat? You don't eat this. You don't eat this. What do you eat? And what do you drink? Oh, you don't drink this. And you don't drink that. And you don't drink coffee. And you don't drink tea. So what do you drink? I said, Charanamrita. What? I said, Charanamrita, we drink. So, this world is made in such a way, I have to drink something, Otherwise, no joy in life. So you're coming, some host is accepting you, what would you like to drink? First, Charanamrita, please. Charanamrita, give me food, water, bathing water of Gurudev, of Thakuraji. So like this. Yes. So Lord Narayana is telling Narada about how to worship Purusottama month, and he's giving another story about a monkey which was delivered from this material ocean of birth and death and attained Golok Vrindavan, just being a monkey. Okay, Purushottam, let's hear about the monkey who went to Golok. Yes, very interesting. Yes, you've come on time. This is Purushottam Das. So you have a glorious name. So let's hear that story now. So a monkey was delivered from the material ocean. And then the sages were listening to Sutta Goswami. He was retelling the same story. Oh, sage, please tell us what kind of monkey that was. What was that mystery that a monkey went to spiritual world immediately during Purushottama month? What was that monkey eating during Purushottam month? What results did the monkey get due to worshipping Purushottam month unknowingly? Please tell us, we're eager to hear. In the province of Kerala, South India, there was a greedy Brahman. His name was actually Chitra Sharma, but nobody called him by this name. They were calling him Kadaria. Kadaria means greedy. So Kadaria was so greedy that he was kicked out from his village, and he went to the forest, similar as the previous Manigriva. So Kadaria means greedy. So he was kicked out from the village, went to the forest, and he met a nice friend who was a gardener. So that friend told him, okay, you live with me. I sometimes go on pilgrimage. I'm a bit busy, so you look after the garden. I'll give you a place to stay, fruits from the garden to eat, and you look after the garden, okay? Okay. So Kadaria was looking after the garden, and the gardener went to visit some holy places. He was a pious man, so he told Kadaria to look after the fruit garden. The gardener was a simple person, so he left everything under the care of Kadaria. And Kadaria was not at all simple. He was wicked and very greedy, so that's what his name saying, greedy. Kadaria means greedy. So when the gardener left, Kadaria started eating the best fruits in the garden. That belongs to me, the great collection. Oh, I like this, I like that. He started eating everything and relishing all the best fruits, the mangoes, the pineapples, everything possible. So the gardener returned and asked about the situation in the garden. What's going on there? Kadaria told him, oh, the monkeys and birds, they came and destroyed everything. So he cheated also. And what to do? That simple man, gardener, was, how to say, he didn't even drive him away. Okay, stay. What to do? He believed actually. So he was cheated by the wicked, greedy liar, Kadaria. So see what disqualifications he had. As a result, he was born as a monkey due to laws of karma. You know, if you develop certain nature, you have to accept a body which will accommodate that nature. So after some time, he died and received the body of a monkey. And although Kadaria was the most sinful person, he had also achieved some merits in his previous life by seeing the concluding ceremony of Purushottam month. So when he was Kadaria, he saw once the concluding ceremony of Purushottam month. Here in this part of Purushottam Mahatmya, it's told, many things are told about how to conclude the month. So we can also see into that because I'll be out and you will know how to conclude. So that day is especially, how to say, you concentrate all of the austerities, all of the devotional practices you did, and you like make a huge kirtan, you make a feast, you give charity to the brahmanas or to the poor, like this. So many regulations. So how did Kadaria observe that ceremony of the last day of Purushottam month? One Vaishya merchant who was worshipping Purushottam month, he also worshipped Purushottam month. Kadaria was also worshipping because of greediness, because he wanted to obtain some gifts from the merchant. So he was bowing down, the merchant was bowing down, so Kadaria was also bowing down. Yeah, just to keep a company. But he wanted some results. Certainly he wanted some fruits and some wealth from the Vaishya. So Kadaria, in his body of a monkey, had taken his birth in a holy place as a result. On the back of a sacred lake, Mrigatirtha. So that Mrigatirtha was a very beautiful place. The trees were fruits and flowers, so he could eat as much as he could. The water in the lake was very sweet and cool, very fresh and useful for health. So the monkey was healthy, and the place was so beautiful and pious because Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he conquered Lanka, and he became pleased with the monkey fighters who had helped him to conquer Lanka. So being pleased with the monkey army, the Lord had given the sacred place for them for their enjoyment. So in that dynasty, monkey Kadarya was born. From the beginning of his birth, Kadarya, the monkey, was suffering from various pitta diseases, some disorders. So blood was always coming out from his mouth. He could not eat anything, could not taste anything. But because of his nature, the monkey was jumping and grabbing those fruits and even throwing them down. Nature of a monkey cannot live, cannot taste, cannot eat, but anyway, spoiling and throwing down. So then Purushottam month came, and the sufferings of the monkey increased during Purushottam. The monkey could not eat anything, so he had observed fasting unknowingly in his mouth, in this mouth. Purushottam, unknowing fast, the monkey undertook. So one day, while jumping from the tree to the tree, the monkey fell down into the lake of Mrigatirtha. After 5 days, he died. Unknowing following of Purushottam. jumping, falling into Mrigatirtha, dying. When he died, a celestial airplane came and took the monkey to Golokdham. Gaur Premanande. So the monkey had achieved a very beautiful spiritual body and lived happily in Golok. So Lord Narayan said, oh, by seeing wonderful fortune of the monkey who had attained Golok, all the demigods started to glorify the Purushottam month in choice prayers. And Narada asked, oh Lord, whatever the principle you have explained previously is meant for the first part of the day of Purushottam month. Lord Narayan again said, after finishing this noon duties, one should wait for his guests at his door, guest who comes to him when he is engaged in milking his cows. He should worship him properly and make him fully satisfied by giving charity according to his ability. So this is about the last day, I think. During the month of Purushottam, a grihastha should perform, married man, should perform his home duties in a truthful and peaceful way. He should not commit any violence to others. Should be merciful toward poor and saintly people. To protect animals, speak truth, mercifulness, non-violence, etc. are some of the important principles a grihastha is to follow. Maybe some of those things they go against our present nature, but we have to try anyway. Develop. The best time for developing good qualities is during this Purushottam month. So Narada then asked Narayan, Bhagavan, oh, please describe something about a chaste woman and how a chaste woman could help her husband in performing Purusottama-vrata. Lord Narayan said, oh Narada, please listen. I am going to describe some of the good qualities of a chaste woman. Whether one's husband is beautiful or ugly, has all good qualities or bad, no problem. You see, in bhakti, bad qualities, no problem. Main thing is association. Qualities will come. If that person is sincere or just on the way for developing some sincere qualities, then by association, all good qualities, samasate sura, all the godly qualities will definitely come during following Purusottama-vrata. So when one's husband beautiful, whether one's husband beautiful or ugly, has all good qualities or bad, healthy or diseased, peaceful or angry in nature, even a drunkard, illiterate, well-educated, not educated, chaste woman should always try her best to give all pleasure to her husband. Devotional life also. There's certainly no question of being a drunkard, but say, has how to say addiction, for TV, for internet, for something, rock and roll, some things, some devotees have that. Still, wife has to pray and just serve. That's Vedic culture. Has to. Well, in the Western world, everything is quite the opposite, but we have to try during Purushottam also. So she should pay proper respect to her husband and other superiors like mother-in-law, father-in-law, etc. She should cooperate with her husband in all sorts of religious and pious activities. She should save something from their family's daily expenses for future emergencies. An ideal wife should be very intelligent in performance of her daily duties and dealings with family members. An ideal wife should not give anything in charity to her relatives or other person without the knowledge of her husband. She should not speak to any man other than her husband in a secret place. All of the above principles should be followed by a woman. Lord Narayan said, there is no more worshipable for wife than her husband. By pleasing one's husband, a woman achieves all perfections. Among men and demigods, one's husband is most worshipable for a chaste woman. So that's an ideal, but we have to become like this. And what are the duties of a husband? Protect the wife, not to terrorize the wife, always see to her needs, support her rights, so many things. Once one devotee came to Srila Gaurikishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, and told him, well, first he was following Babaji and performing bhajan under his direction, and then he came with a young girl and said, oh Babaji Maharaj, I have found this Krishna Dasi and I'm going to offer her to you, please give us blessings. Oh, you have brought Krishna Dasi, so now you have to worship her if she is Krishna Dasi. You have to offer her puja, take her foot bath water. And our Gurudev was asked, what does it mean? and say, oh Devi, please be kind to me. So everybody was laughing. But anyway, that's really the point, that the husband should not see a wife as his property. It's very, very important. Krishna Dasi. Oh, then you have to see her as a Krishna Dasi. That's the proper way. So during the month of Purushottam, we have to practice like this. Once upon a time, goddess Parvati had worshipped Purushottam month in advice of her husband, Lord Shiva. Goddess Parvati asked Lord Shiva, what is the best thing to give in charity? So one concludes the worship of Purushottam month successfully. Lord Shiva replied, one should fill up 30 malpuas, malpua, sweet type of pancake, very tasty. Preparation. So Lord Shiva said, fill up 30 malpuas in a bell metal pot. Then bind the pot with 7 new threads. Then place the pot in a proper place. One should then worship the pot according to Shastras. To conclude the Purusottama-vrata and to break one's vows, one should give such 30 bell metal pots full of 30 malpuas to Brahmanas. So some feast should be done. On the last day of Purushottam, that's 16th of October, Amavasya, the new moon. So for your kind consideration, please consider that something has to be done like a feast, like at the end of Kartik, also a huge feast. And invite your friends if it would be possible anyway. Otherwise, do take away festival. All right. So if someone is very rich, he or she should give 30 such pots in charity to 30 qualified Brahmins. Listening to the above instructions, Goddess Parvati became very happy. So to conclude her Purusottama-vrata, even Parvati, Shiva and Parvati were doing Purusottama-vrata. The best of the Vaishnavas, Vaishnava Namita Shambhu, and his wife Parvati, personification of material nature. So yes, so she was very happy, and she gave 30 bell metal pots full of malpuas to 30 qualified Brahmanas. Became successful in observing Purusottama-vrata. So by Lord Shiva, 30 pots, 30 malpuas. But anyway, 30 sweet bowls, 30 something you can make. Then in this way, great sage Narada Muni became very pleased by listening all about Purushottam from the mouth of Narayan Rishi. And then Lord Narayan spoke, this Purushottam month is the best of all other months, is the best among all kinds of vratas and austerities. See, it's repeated, but different personalities are saying. We heard from the mouth of Krishna himself, now Lord Narayan is speaking, then Durvasa was speaking. So, and one who just listens to the glories of Purushottam month faithfully would achieve devotional service to Supreme Lord Purushottam. And all of his sinful reactions will be immediately nullified. One who performs the whole vrata and worships Purushottam month properly will achieve unlimited glories and attain Golok. Yes, so Narada Muni said, oh, I'm now fully satisfied, and in my heart and my mind I'm feeling complete bliss. And Sutta Goswami also was very satisfied, and all the sages were satisfied. So Shri Purusottama-vrata ki jai. Last thing I wanted to mention, amongst the regulations for Purushottam month is glorifying prasad. That song we sing, we have to sing, as Gurudev also is mentioning. They posted Gurudev's Harikatha for Purushottam month in the mailing list, and just that Harikatha came. So Gurudev was saying, you have to glorify prasad. So that song was composed by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, especially for glorifying prasad. And in ISKCON temples, devotees usually sing, and in Gurudev's big Sangha, Keshavaji Gaudiya and the others, they were also singing. Somehow or other, we don't, but anyway, we have to learn actually that song, Sharira Bidujal, after you'll find. Now let's listen to the commentary of the song. First of all, the mantra is pronounced from Hari Bhakti Vilas, but that's actually the mantra from Skanda Purana. Mahaprasadi Govinde Namo Brahmani Vaishnave Swapapunyavatam Rajan Vishwasanaiva Jayate, this mantra. So it says, those who have very few pious activities to their credit can never develop faith in Mahaprasad, in Govinda, in the holy name of the Lord, and to the Vaishnavas. So there's a verse in the Shastra saying that those who consider Vaishnavas, Guru and Vaishnavas, ordinary people, Prasad, ordinary food, deity, an ordinary statue, and the holy name, a mere sound, they possess demonic mentality. Those people, even the spiritual schools, impersonal schools, they think, oh, this is all mundane, actually. Great offense. So, again, listen, let's listen what this verse says. Those who have very few pious activities to their credit can never develop faith in Mahaprasad Govinda, the holy name of the Lord, and the Vaishnavas. So pious credits, if we take prasad, credit is coming. If we hear Harikatha, credit is coming. If we participate in any activities, we certainly delight Tulasi. We serve guests, serve prasad, do any devotional activities, and piety is accumulating, especially in the holy name of, in the holy land of Vrindavan, Navadvip, Jagannath Puri. So then we develop those sukritis. Sukritis means devotional merits. So when they become as big as a mountain, then quantity comes into quality, and we gain sadhusanga. Yeah. We gain the association of the saints. We distribute books, right? Or somebody took a book. So one who takes a book will develop desire to meet the author. What to do if the author is in spiritual world? Anyway, meet the followers, meet the representatives, Shiksha Guru, etc., and hear Harikatha alive. So Harikatha can be printed as Brihat Mridangas, great drum, can be distributed. When those people who get the books, they develop Sukriti. If they donate a 50p, a pound for a book, then also greater Sukriti. So our merciful guardians are saying, oh, let people donate something, it's also good. Not that we ask, oh, give me money. No, no. Good for them. Do it in such a way that they don't feel offended. Some donation for charity. Okay, okay. Right. So then they'll read, and they'll also, when they give 50p, they have a better balance of Socrates to read, to understand, and something clicks in their heart if they had some balance from before, and this thing, oh, this is very, very valuable. So they will continue, and they will come, and they will see the sadhus. So, Mahaprasadi Govinde, Namo Brahmani Vaishnava, Svapapunyavatam Rajan, Vishwasanai Vajayate, and then Srila Bhaktivinoda's song, here it is, Sharira Vidyajal. So some devotees are smiling because I know, you know it from ISKCON, from the big Sangha. Here the devotees, they cannot actually chant it without the book, but anyway, I'll sing it for you. I'm smiling automatically because my old years, you know, singing this song at Prasad. But now that's a regulation for Purushottam to sing it at Prasad, so glorifying Prasad. Sharira Vidajal Jadandriya Tahikal Jivapele Vishaya Sagare. We're calling this in ISKCON the sweetest mantra, the sweetest song. Karamadya Jivati Lopamoy Sudharmati Takachata Katina Samsare Krishna Baradoyamoy Karibare Jivajay Swaprasad Nadilabai Senamrita Pau Radha Krishna Gunago Premedako Chaitanya Nitai. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing, oh brother, this material body is a lump of ignorance, and the senses are a network of paths leading to death. So some funny thing in ISKCON, sometimes devotees were singing short version, Sharira Vidajal Jatandriyaka Tarikal Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. This body is a lamp of ignorance, and the senses will lead you to hell. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. No, no, no. We have to finish the song. So this material body is a lump of ignorance, and the senses are a network of paths leading to hell, to death. We have fallen into the ocean of material sense enjoyment. Of all the senses, the tongue is most difficult to control, has no bone inside. Can go anywhere, left, right, up, down, do different sounds, you know, right, down, speak. Oh, Gurudev was saying, let me repeat, Srila Gurudev, that's for me, not for you. I mean, you can consider it for you also, but I'm not giving to you. I'm just repeating Srila Gurudev's words for me, okay? Don't speak what you feel like, Gurudev was saying. Don't speak what you feel like. Because when you don't joke with sadhus also. When you joke with sadhu, you can speak something which will become an offense. We cannot know what will be the result of our words. You know, even some poets of this world, they were mentioning, I remember one Russian poet who was mentioning, we don't know the result of our words. You know, we were thinking it's funny for us, but don't consider a sadhu being on your level. So don't speak your language to the sadhu. What language am I supposed to speak to the sadhu in? In the sadhu language. But I don't know it. Just be yourself. But don't speak too much also. Rather listen. And what to ask about is a great, great science. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj has written a book, Pariprashna, the art of this, the art, what's that? The art of inquiry. Pariprashna, the art of inquiry. How to ask questions. What are the 4 questions we have to ask? What are the 4 questions? Remember. Srila Sanatana Goswami asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about what? Ke ami, who am I? The first question. Second question, why am I experiencing the triple sufferings? What's that? The trifold sufferings. The body, Adhyatmika, Dibautika, Didaivika, remember Adhyatmika? From the body and the mind, Adhyatmika. Bhautika, bhutas means living entities, from other living entities, mosquitoes, monkeys, dogs, some others, snakes. It's not Malaysia here. Anyway, so some living entities and the forces of nature, the devas, the demigods, bringing droughts, bringing floods, bringing scarcity of food, all those famine, etc. So, well, always suffering. Why? That's an intelligent question. A foolish person will never think I'm suffering. How are you? I'm fine. I'm on an antidepressant. I'm fine, thank you. Happy, very happy. But without tablets, not happy. So, who am I? Why I'm suffering? And the third and fourth questions, what are they? Remember, Purusottama? What is the path? And what is the goal? Sadhana and sadhya. So these are the four questions by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Then Mahaprabhu told all Sanatana Shiksha, instructions to Srila Sanatana Goswami. Who am I? Why am I suffering? What is the path? What is the goal? Or vice versa. What is the goal first, and then what is the path? Unless a person, a human being, asks those four questions, one is not really a human being. A two-legged animal. Dvipasha Pandapasha. That's what Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada called the modern civilization. Alas, unfortunately. So, yes. So, in front of the sadhu, one has to ask those questions. Who am I? Why am I suffering? What is the path and what is the goal? So, different variations, certainly, which can be related to one of those four. These are the just main topics. But so many other subjects within those four, isn't it? So I have to be careful, not ask about the stars, the cosmology. The cosmology is sometimes okay, but politics, economics, and please give me blessings. So a nice marriage, good business. No, not about that. Not about that. So Gurudev was not answering those questions. Gurudev, can I marry that girl? Don't come to me with that. I'll give you some harikatha, something about bhakti, and you decide about the other things. That's it. So prasad is the solution. Prasad or mercy. Prasad means mercy, isn't it? So the mercy in the form of the remnants of Krishna's food, Radha and Krishna's food, is the solution, because this prasad is actually what? Adharamrita. Adhara means the lotus mouth. Adharamrita means the nectar of the lotus mouth, of the lotus lips. Adhara means actually lips, so the lotus lips. What Shri Radha and Krishna were enjoying. And then Srimati Radhika gave Krishna the betel nuts. In your mantras, while offering bhog, you have at the end the Dam Tambula. Then she's offering Rupa Manjari and Lalita Vishaka, and offering Radhika, offering Krishna Tambula, betel nuts. In the conclusion of the offering ceremony. So then what returns from spiritual world in that ceremony, how to say, when we offer bhog means enjoyment actually. So whatever is meant for the Lord's enjoyment becomes prasad after, when the Lord accepts. So the whole, how to say, alchemy of the offering is about that. Bhoga becoming prasad. Then it returns from the altar. And the sadhakas of this world, the sadhakas means spiritual practitioners, from this world they receive from the eternally liberated associates of Shri Radha and Krishna from spiritual world, through their guru, the remnants of Radha and Krishna, which are Adharamrita, means the nectar of the lotus mouths, lotus lips, and then being distributed to devotees. So when prasadam is prepared nicely, with love, and accepted, and that's alchemical process. And then it's returned from spiritual world, and then all the devotees relish. And then their consciousness go up. Then they cry in ecstasy. Once, Shri Rupa and Sanatana were sitting together in Srila Rupa Goswami's Bhajan Kutir, in Terra Kadamba. Kadamba tree on which Krishna was sitting, and Terra means he was calling the cows, his cows, and also the gopis. So Srila Rupa Goswami was meditating there, and Sanatana Goswami was situating next to Pavan Sarovar, just the foothill of Nanda Parvat in Nandagaon. So Sri Sanatana Goswami, the elder brother, was coming to Rupa Goswami every day, and they were discussing Srimad Bhagavatam 111. And further on, Srimad Bhagavatam they were discussing. So the Harikatha was so deep, they could not follow what's going on around. The morning, the day, the night, it meant nothing for them. The time disappeared. So then we were going on and on and on Srimad Bhagavatam. And then one village girl came. And she said, Baba, I brought you some bhoga. My mother saw that you are sitting and not taking any prasad. So I brought you some bhoga. See, some rice, some milk, some sugar. You make kheer, make sweet rice, and eat. Oh, thank you. Put here. Continue. Baba, you're not noticing? Okay, I will cook myself. So then the girl, she had some mystic powers. So she blew on her palms. And immediately the fire manifested with dry leaves. She blew on the dry leaves and the fire started burning. So she put the pot on the fire, put rice, put milk, put sugar, stirred a little bit, it boiled, then it was ready. So she said, Baba, here's some prasad for you. Thank you. And she disappeared. Then when it got dark, Srila Rupa Goswami said, Dear brother, oh, it has become somewhat late, so I want to give you some Bhagavad Prasad. By the way, here it is. So let's taste Mahaprasad. So he gave a clay pot of sweet rice, kheer, to Sanatana Goswami and took himself. And when they tasted, they were so ecstatic. They were immersed in Prem, and they started dancing and singing. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. 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 Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. So then Shiva Sanatana Goswami told Rupa, Dear brother, you know, we have made a big mistake. We have engaged our Swamini in our service. We're supposed to serve our Swamini, aren't we? We're supposed. But we engaged her in our service. It's a great mistake. Let us not commit that mistake again. So even Srimati Radhika herself came to cook for Rupa and Sanatana. You see? Such a story. So that happened in Terra Kadamba. You come there, you can receive some sweet rice, Mahaprasad. So that is Mahaprasad. That is the whole science. So Mahaprasad has to be glorified in this mantra. But Krishna is so merciful that he gave us Mahaprasad, the remnants from his mouth, to help us conquer the tongue. This prasad is full of nectar. Take this prasad and glorify Radha and Krishna. With love, call for the help of Chaitanya and Nitai. Chaitanya and Nitai, most merciful. That's why Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada gave mostly Gaura Nitai deities, because they're most merciful. But we worship Gauranga anyway. He's next to, he's supposed to be next to the divine couple. He's always there. So Srila Gurudev was warning us, don't eat prasad. You cannot eat Krishna. Don't become Krishna eaters. We are worshippers of Krishna, so we worship prasad, we serve prasad, we try to serve prasad. That's why we say Prasada seva. Prasada seva. So sometimes we're at work, we grab something from the store, say some mantra, quick, put into your mouth. Well, sometimes possible because no other way, you have to eat, But when you're free, when you're in good condition, actually on daily basis, offer something for Thakurji. If you don't have deities, no harm. The images have the same power. Not exactly, that cannot say, but depends on your mood. Because the deities will also worship with moods. We worship them with moods. Uttama Vaishnava, the highest Vaishnava, sees them as Radha and Krishna, factically Radha and Krishna. Madhyam, the intermediate devotee, sees them as like representatives, like Radha and Krishna theoretically understands, but not complete realization. And Kanishta, beginner, thinks, oh, they're representatives of Radha and Krishna, saying that representatives of Radha and Krishna. And mundane man is, oh, what metal are they made of? Krishna is made of milk of Mother Yashoda, obviously. That's what Krishna is made of. But so we grow in our understanding, we grow in our appreciation of our beloved deities. We sannyasis and brahmacharis traveling, we don't have deities. No. Once I remember, 12 years ago, Pachapad Damodar Maharaj had a set of deities for some time. And he brought them to Odessa, Ukraine. Gurudev said, don't worship. No. We don't. Because we worship inside. That's our deities when we do like this. Radha and Krishna are here. We worship by mantra. We envision deities inside. That's how great personality installs the deities. They come. That is called prana pratishta. So that is the divine process. So during Purushottam, we should try to honor prasad. We should try to control our tongue, our speech, to put endeavors for glorifying Purushottam during the day and night. I'm just preaching to myself. Pachahure mana, Srinanda Nandana, Abhaya Charanara, Pachahure mana. Oh my mind, please worship Nandana. In this song, Govinda Das Kaviraj was sang today, Purushottam Prabhu sang this song, like a key song actually for Purushottam also. Very, very nice song. Srila Govinda Das Kaviraj is singing Shri Nanda Nanda Abhaya Charanara. Please worship Nanda Nandana, who gives you fearlessness. We're afraid of everything in this world so much. Krishna is Abhaya Charanara. He gives fearlessness and he gives you confidence in highest truth, highest reality. Reality is a beautiful Shri Radha and Krishna, so they're just next to us. They're here, and they give their merciful glance. I'm so happy today. I was able to speak about those things, and with your kind receptive, you're so much receptive. I'm feeling so much happy, privileged, and you understand so much with your hearts, so we can really relish, we can understand, and they're also hearing. It's so fantastic. Beloved guardians also hearing, seeing every step of ours. They know. So, Shri Nandanandana Bhaya Charanara Vindari Durlabha Manava Janama Satsangi. In the Manava Janama, in the life of a human, Sadhu Sangha is a great rarity. Association of sadhus is a great rarity. And the life, human life, is like a drop of water on the surface of a leaf, about to fall at any moment. At any moment can fall. So, Shri Nandananda, my mind, Worship Nanda. First about the mind. You may not have the details. You may not have possibility to serve. You might be on a business trip or on a trip as a sannyasi brahmachari. So you worship in your mind. Never forget. Purusottama Maharaj was speaking this morning. 2 regulations. Vaidhi and Nisheda. Means positive and negative instructions. Positive instruction, the only positive instructions, always remember Krishna. Negative instruction, never forget. That's it. 2 sides of the same coin. If the mind is going astray, wanting to forget, then we return as, as a dog, come back. So we have to always keep our, what's that called? Lead, tightened. A little, okay, some compromise. You can go ahead. No, don't follow. As you didn't allow the cat to eat from my plate today. Like this. You have to be cautious. Yes. Okay, Shri Purusottama-vrata ki jai. Nitaya Gaur Premanande Hari. Shila Gurudeva ki jai. Have any questions, remarks, most welcome. So tomorrow we'll continue with glorification of Purushottam Bhagavan. The highest manifestation is Shri Mahapurusha, Shri Sachinandan Gaura Hari, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thank you very much. Gaura Hari Bol. Any questions? Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. ठीक है? See you tomorrow. Gaur Premanande.